Welcome back, you well-balanced individual. This is another Iron Talk, where iron sharpens iron, so is man sharpen another. I'm David Duncan, the Curiosity Specialist, and I'm here to talk about my framework, the SAID mindset. And we're on the second video talking about A in SAID, which is about awareness. More importantly, self-awareness. Awareness is the ability for one to monitor their own emotion, behaviors, and personality, aka your strengths, your weaknesses, your triggers, and your values. I want to know, when was the last time you thought about what's one thing that you like about yourself? That question is something that I use often when I talk to students or when I'm trying to get to know someone, because that question answers something very important to the person. First, it'll be, how do they view themselves? Do they believe that they're even good at anything? This is a telltale sign of the ability of someone who has a low self-esteem. One of the problems that my firm solves is attacking low self-esteem. And I feel that without someone being self-aware enough, the ability for them to not answer the question comes very easy. There's a lot of kids that I deal with that they'll say, I don't know. What a world that we live in, that some people don't even know one thing that they like about themselves. Isn't that disheartening? I would like to say to you right now, you are good at something. You are worth something. So when it comes to talking about awareness, I want us to focus on these four things: our strengths, our weaknesses, our triggers, and our values. For me, it's important that we start with our values, because we must understand what are the things that I'm willing to stand for. What are the things that I'm not willing to stand for? For me, I can't stand for is racism. There's a part of me as a young black man in America that has a very triggering conversation when it comes to racism. However, it's best that we take the time to self-reflect on our triggers. Because like a system that plays us, if you don't know what system you're in, you're being played by that system. It's important that when we have a sense of awareness, we must start with our values. Take the time right now, grab a piece of paper. If you could write down 4 to 5 things that if I were to ask your friend about you, what would they say? Would they say that you're kind? Would they say that you are thoughtful? Would they say that you are loyal? What are those things? Write them down right now. Take the moment, pause this video, and write those things down. Now that you're back, I'm grateful that you are participating in this action right now, because this is the work. When it comes to awareness, this is the work. That quiet time, that ability to hear the own voice in your head. This is where you find out who you are and what you value. Now, as we move from values, I need you to focus on your strengths and weaknesses. Because no man or woman is an island, which means the things that you're good at, that means there's somebody that's not good at those things. And the things that you're bad at, that means there's someone that's good at those things. That's the importance of understanding the system and awareness playing its role together. Because once you're aware of your role and what the things you're good at and what the things you're bad at, that means it's easier for you to fall into a system and fall into a role and help that vision or goal be achieved. Now that we've talked about the strengths and weaknesses and even our values, we need to talk about the triggers. Because some of us, it's easy for us to play a victim. Because when we get triggered, it's easy for us to react. Now that you understand the triggers in your life, when you see them come across you, they won't be as triggering. However, you have the ability to now have a choice in how you react to those triggers. I'll give you a short story. I'm growing up, I'm post-college, I'm living in Atlanta, hanging out with a mentor of mine, and we decided to go out to this event where, obviously, at this time I'm single, so we're out with the guys. Guys usually hanging out in a place where there's a bunch of other good-looking women, there usually is a conversation amongst men saying, oh, I could get her number. Oh, that's cool, but I think she'll talk to me. That ego trip could be a trigger for some people. Unfortunately, that was a trigger for me. In this conversation, I started to be triggered by the fact that someone was telling me I couldn't do something. And in that moment, I decided, no, I'm gonna do it. Long story short, I achieved the goal. I won't say what that goal was, but I'll say this. Even in that me achieving that goal just to prove somebody wrong, I had to notice. And my mentor told this to me later on in the day. Don't let somebody take you out your character when they're not even on your level. Because in that moment, I let an ego trip take me from a person that I thought I was to someone that I needed to prove to be to someone else. And that's not a good place to be in life. So, I would hope you understand, when it comes to your awareness, it's best that you take the time to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, the values that you have, but also the triggers that cause you to react out of character. Now, as we move on and we move to our next video, we're gonna jump to the I in said mindset, which is intention. And it's been a pleasure and an honor. Your brother from another mother, David Duncan, the Curiosity Specialist. Peace.